Shalom friends, welcome to Kosher Cooking with Jonathan. Salam Dustan to all my friends in Iran. Today I'm getting in touch with my Persian side, and I'm super excited to share a recipe with you that's one of my favorite Persian recipes. And that's why today we're cooking a very special Persian dish. It's a delicious Persian staple that's made with ground beef and onion and potato and all kinds of delicious spices, and it's called Kotlet. And there's a special reason why we're doing that today, because 4 years ago January, there was a former IRGC leader by the name of Qasem Soleimani who was killed, targeted by a US airstrike in Iraq, and Iranians today mock him because his body was left like fried meat. So today it's very brave for Iranians who are mocking the regime, the Iranian regime which they resist, the Iranian regime which they pray will come to an end soon, and the Iranian regime that they are taking greater active stance against. They are mocking the regime by making kotlet. And today, in solidarity with the Iranian people and sharing the prayer that the regime will be over, and this will be the last February 11th, the anniversary of the 1979 Islamic Revolution, that anyone actually celebrates, especially today. The Jewish people and Persians have a long history together. Unfortunately, if you go back to the Bible, to Haman, who wanted to annihilate all of us. And then we had Persian rulers, kings like Cyrus and Darius, who brought us back to the land of Israel. And even until 1948, or until more recently, 45 years ago, in 1979, there was great relationships between Persia, Iran today, and Israel. And we're praying for that to restore itself. When you see how we're going to prepare the food today, you realize how simple this is and really how delicious it will be. We have a kilo of ground beef. We have a kilo of potatoes that would be boiled, peeled and boiled and grated up inside. We have 3 large onions that we also grated and mixed in with the beef mixture, and then different spices that we'll talk about as well to give it rich flavor. And then at the end, we're going to bread it and fry it to give it a nice crispy crunch on the outside and a tender moistness on the inside. We're going to start off grating onion. I've already pre-grated 2. We're going to use 3 large onions. Cut off the outside. We're going to grate the onion here and then let it rest to have the liquid come off. Now, I have yet to find a foolproof way to prevent yourself from crying. But you know what? Today, when I cry, I'm crying with the Iranian people. I'm crying for Israel that's suffering a brutal war against Hamas right now. I'm crying for Lebanon, which has been overrun by Hezbollah, Islamic revolutionary backed Hezbollah, and for the people of Yemen, and for everybody around the world who's suffering so tremendously because of the Iranian meddling and evil Islamic terror that's being imposed all around the world and for the last 45 years. And let the liquid come off. We've got a kilo of boiled potato that I pre-boiled. We are going to now grate back into the pot before we mix into the beef mixture as well. And this will be yummy. This will be add a lot of substance, a lot of volume, and also bind the meat together as a very tasty patty as well. Here comes the meat. Now, 3 eggs. Make sure we don't get any shell or any blood in there. And now, we use gluten-free flour here. And that helps with the binding of the mixture. Turmeric, yummy, colorful, gives a great Middle Eastern flavor. I'm very generous with it. There's almost nothing I cook that doesn't have pepper, fresh ground pepper. Well, not fresh, but store-bought. And garlic. Now, I didn't feel like cutting up garlic today, and since it's getting blended into the mixture anyway, I'm using ground garlic, also yummy. And finally, this is so important. I like food a little spicy. It's important especially for kotlet, especially for what it represents. Remember the little fried meat of Qasam Soleimani? We're using some spicy hot paprika because it should have some spice. Just as I've added the flour to bind it together along with the eggs, I don't want too much liquid with the onion. So now we're putting all the onion in, getting my hands dirty, mixing it all together. We want to make sure that this is as blended together as possible. The idea now is to take a nice big clump, a good handful, and make it into a patty. Now, patty can be in any shape, but I understand from the experts that we want to do it somewhat in the shape of a teardrop. I don't know if that's traditional or if that just goes with my example of wanting to also shed a few tears. It's important to shed a few tears for those who have suffered these last 45 years of the regime. Okay, so there's several patties here. They're ready to go. The flame is on. I smell the delicious smell of the olive oil getting hot, and now we're just going to coat them lightly with breadcrumbs. That is going to be delicious. So we've got our kotlet patties. We're going to pour a little olive oil into the pan. Olive oil adds great flavor. Okay, so we're ready to go. It smells great. It sounds great. Sound good and they smell delicious. Ooh, look at that. I have to say this is the best smelling kotlet that I've ever made. It looks delicious. I can't wait to taste it. Bringing the finished product right here to our kitchen counter. Hopefully these have cooled off a little bit because I'm dying to taste one. So I'm going to take some of the finished kotlet off of the top of this plate and put it on here for serving. Looks delicious, doesn't it? That's a great one. I'm eager to try it. Very yummy. Iran, we stand in solidarity with you. We love your food. We're praying for peace, and we're praying that this is the last February 11th that anyone on earth will ever celebrate the Islamic Revolution.